accomplished educator and visionary leader, currently serving as the principal of DAV Public School in India. With 24 years of experience, including 22 years of administrative roles, she has pioneered several initiatives and contributed significantly to academic excellence, innovative teaching and practices, and school accreditation. An active participant in prestigious committees, panels, and training programs, she is committed to empowering the student community and fostering all-around development. She has come to share a new book, I Said I Can and I Did, Mastering 8 Habits to Transform Your Life, is a guide of empowerment written for teenagers and offers warm and approachable wisdom to unlock their full potential. A big welcome to Aparna Eri.
Thanks, Jordan. And hello, everybody. Good afternoon. And to my friends in India, good evening. It's a, I would say, wonderful opportunity for me to come on this platform and share about my maiden venture. This is my first book, and I have just kept a copy with me. I said I can, and I did. Today, I have got around 40 minutes of talking time, sharing about my journey, how the thought of writing a book came, and that is how I'm here today. So, my dear friends, I know you are from different fields and different parts of the world, and this is a wonderful platform of coming together, discussing, and sharing our views. We will have the last 15 minutes for the question and answer session. So, as I share my journey with you, if there are any queries or some thoughts that you would like to share, kindly mention in the chat box so that we can take it forward and then we can discuss also. So, beginning with myself, my education has been in the suburbs of Delhi in a place called Gurgaon, Gurugram. Today, Gurugram is a millennium city and it is famous all over the world. But I'm talking of around 50, more than 50 years back, when it was a small, sleepy township. I started my journey in education, means as a student from this place, carried forward in Delhi, and after that, a short stint outside Delhi, and I came back to Gurugram. That is the time I joined my current school, DAV Public School, Sector 14, Gurugram. I was very lucky to get wonderful mentors who groomed me, who trained me, and gradually I carried forward in the field of education, starting from an educator, a teacher, then took over the role of supervisory head, had a number of administrative responsibilities, and currently I am heading the school. It's a wonderful, beautiful school, I would say, with wonderful team members, and together as a team, we are taking forward the legacy of DAV. I would also like to share that DAV is one of the largest NGOs, Dayanand Anglo Vedic. It talks about providing you value education along with the modern education. So, DAV organization, this is for my friends from different parts of the world. DAV organization has more than 950 schools spread throughout the country, throughout India. And DAV Sector 14 Gurugram is one of the premier institutions. And I am really honored and I'm blessed to be a part of this DAV family. And thank you to all my dear staff members, my team members at school who have been always helping me and motivating me. So, this was a brief about my journey. as a educator, and I'm sure with everybody's support and collaboration, we are going to take great steps forward. So, my dear friends, now comes the thought that my subject was economics, is economics rather, and from an economics teacher or a student of economics, how did I metamorphose or change into a writer? So, this journey also, I would say, started a few years back. Some of the ladies would echo my point and understand that when your children are young, that is the point basically when you are busy, managing your career as well as your family life and handling your kids, their education. So, definitely, I also had these responsibilities. And I think pandemic was the time, a time of awakening. I do understand that there was a lot of stress all over, lot of misery all over. But what I learned from that period was tough times will come and go, but tough people are going to stay. And that is how I am very sure many people during this time found a lot of free time. I would not say free time, but free time which you utilized positively. And at this point of time, after a long, I would say long years in which children were rushing to school, college, I was rushing to my school, I got time to spend with my children. So I would just like to share that my daughter is in her late 20s and son is just touching 20. So this COVID period was the time when he was just ending his teenage group, and the daughter had just no, but she had grown past her teenage period. So sitting together, we had lots of conversations. I also got to know a lot of concerns as a mother. As a teacher, we are handling teenagers at school. My profile right from the beginning has been with teenage children. So, as supervisory head, I had always been handling children in the age group of, say, 13, 14 till they were adults. So, this was a beautiful period, and I realized with the motivation and inspiration from my colleagues, my friends, and my family that this is the time, why not sit and pen down my feelings, my thoughts, or you would say, in other words, put down my, I would say, advice, suggestions to dear children. You all would agree with me that today children in this age are not very comfortable getting advice or suggestion. So the best way is to tell them from your own experiences. And I would like to share that my book talks more of my experiences with the children, real time stories which the children can understand. So this was in, say, I think 2021 when the concept came in mind. But I did not have the courage. As I shared with you, throughout being a person who was studying economics, and economics is a very scientific person, I felt that I don't have that flair for writing. And that initial hesitation was there how to begin. So I will not go far. I had my role models in my family itself. My husband, being an avid reader, he has always been inspiring me to read. Obviously, he writes well, but he has not ventured into book writing. But otherwise, a lot of paper presentations and writings he has been doing. And a bigger inspiration would be my 20-year-old son. Again, a very avid reader like his dad. And at a very young age of 4 or 5, in fact, he used to write poems. And we were all amazed and surprised. When he grew to class, I think he was in grade 4, that his first book, obviously not through a proper publisher or channel, but for his first story, I still remember it was on dinosaurs that he had written, and that came. When he was in grade 6, his story was published as one of the stories by a publishing house, a leading public publishing house in the country. So I always found, discussing with him, talking with him, that really widened my horizon. So, a point that I want to mention here is that we all are learners and we learn a lot from our children, from our students at school. So, when I said the children these days don't want to be advised or suggestion to be given to them, but definitely if we take them along, things and life becomes beautiful. So, that was how the seed of my book was sown. I got again a big support from my school, from my team. My enthusiastic head librarian, she always pushed me, and in my journey, she has really helped me and motivated me, because there were times where, every time I used to get, no, I will not be able to do it. It is not possible. Time is too short. So many things are there. So these people, along with the efficient staff that I have in my school, who always pumped in confidence, no, ma'am, you can do it. It will be possible. So that is how the book came. And the journey was, I would not say very long, but it was not short either. But I would like to share that this book is not too lengthy. I will just share the size of the book. You can just see a very thin, small book. Because I myself feel that when I started reading, I felt that, the size of the book, the color of the book, these are all things that, matter a lot and change, decide a lot about your decision. So I felt, let it be a short, crisp book which children feel comfortable. I have just prepared a presentation. As I speak, I would just like to share that with you. So, this is my book. I said, I can, and I did. Mastering 8 Habits to Transform Your Life. So, basically, the book is divided into 8 chapters. I will come and explain you what these 8 chapters are. This is a brief about me, myself, which has already been shared by everybody. Being with the school, with the school has won a number of accolades, and I also have got opportunities to rise and shine with my team of teachers and students. So, this is that I was sharing with you my journey. The cover of my book, again, this was another important part when we sat down designing the cover page. So, we had a number of color schemes, how it should look. So, my view was that it should be a book that a child enters the library and it immediately attracts the attention of the child. So that is how this page was covered. And as I told you, we kept the size pretty less. It is 69 pages only, very comfortable, for children to read. And I must tell you that children are really enjoying it. So this is the bibliographic detail of the book. Now coming to my book, and I would take some time in sharing about it regarding the details. So basically, the book has been divided into 2 parts. Majorly, section 1 talks of 8 chapters. Like we said, that the title is I Said, I Can, and I Did, Mastering 8 Habits to Transform Your Life. So these 8 habits have been set in the 8 chapters. Section 2 talks of building blocks of success. So these are 5 tips, quick glance at these tips. And once you go through this, I'm very sure you will say, what is new in this? But the point is that we all know these things. How to bring them together, how to use them at the right time, that requires an effort. With so much of teaching experience, I'm sure all of you, and this is not only for teachers, this is for parents also. Because, my dear parents, you are also interacting with these children. And you yourself, when you interact with these children, you yourself, recall that, this used to happen when we were in, our age. But the point here that we have to understand is that children need a lot of patient listening. This is both for teachers as well as for parents. So, coming back to the book part, I will first like to share the chapters of the book. So, first of all, the first chapter says from good to great. So, good to great, what do we understand from this is everything is good in this world. But then we have to cross that threshold limit and make everything grand, great, and wonderful. So, this chapter basically talks of cultivating good habits and breaking the bad ones. Not easy. In current times, when children have a lot of peer pressure, even if they want to come out of the shackles of their friends, or want to come out from things they know they are not right, but they are stuck, and they need, I would say, a lot of motivation and push to move forward. And who can give this push to them? It is the parents, it is the educators, their teachers. At times you will find in different countries, at different places, children don't have that connect with the parents to share their views, to share their concerns, to share their problems. And at that time, my dear friends, my educator friends, your role comes in. So, this chapter basically is talking to children, telling them how they can move forward, how they are going to proceed, and how they are going to, go forward. Now, this chapter itself, in fact, every chapter, there is a special thing that we have added at the end of the chapter, and that is we have added a few questions. So, this is something, I have termed it as reflecting inward, a call for self examination. So I would be just reading some paragraphs and few questions from my book also with each chapter, so that you get to know how the language is and what are we, expecting from the book. So I will just read out from the after the chapter what kind of a question is there. So the child says, reads the chapter, and after that, he is asked, what are some of the habits I currently have that contribute positively to my well being and personal growth? So, after this, we have left some space, a few lines, so that the child can reflect, she can think, and then she can pen down her points. What are the challenges or obstacles that may hinder me from reinforcing healthy habits? How can I overcome these challenges and stay committed? So, this is what basically is in chapter 1. So, this sets the pace for the coming chapters. The second chapter says, time flies, so should you. And this chapter basically I have written, it's the need of the hour, because children are in the habit of postponing things. And this chapter says, tame procrastination and embrace time management. So basically, we are telling children how to plan their things and how to realize that time is very important. And first of all, actually, children don't understand only that this is a problem of postponement, of procrastination. They feel this is everything very normal. But If they understand this, that what they are doing is leading to wastage of time, leading to, making things simple right now, but adding on to their problems later on. And my dear friends, I'm very sure that all of you are experiencing the same, not with children alone, but with young adults. Because this is how these children are now growing up. And they find, why, there's no problem. Let things move at their own pace. And in the end, we will manage. But that doesn't work. So this is something, and a small heading from this chapter that I would like to share is the distraction dilemma, taking charge of your time. This is something which all our children are facing right now. Leave children, even we are facing. All of us are so much amused by the gadgets these days that, we really don't realize where our time goes and how we are spending, or rather, I would say, how we are wasting it. So, this chapter tells the children, guides them from examples. Examples I have taken from my own life as an educator, handling children, where children come to you and say so many things have to be done. In a country like India, where there is so much of competitiveness in school life, immediately when they have to enter their university and college education, this is the place where, a lot of problem comes. And children come and they are really helpless. So much has to be done. Ma'am, how should we manage? How should we go about it? And this is the main target of this chapter. Again, a question that I am reading out from Reflecting Inward, a call for self examination. From this theme, this is the last question in this chapter. I'm just not reading all, I'm coming towards the end. So the question is, how can I develop a more proactive mindset and approach to my studies and responsibilities? So, what a child feels, she has the pressure of doing academics also, but a child has a lot of talent. And at times, she is struggling how to manage time between the two. Definitely, as parents, as educators, we all put a pressure on the child. You have to do the best. But she has the same 24 hours and she has a lot to do. So, my dear friends, when I'm talking of my book today, it is not only talking about the book, but it is also talking to you regarding the problems that our children face and how, in a matured fashion, we can help them out. Coming to my third chapter is setting goals, mapping the path to success. Yes. So when we have talked of not postponing things, making plans. So at the same time, the first important thing is how to set your goals. Your objectives should be clear. I just took the example of a young girl who wants to do well in academics also, but at the same time, she has a number of different abilities and talents where she wants to shine. So somebody has, to guide her how to, set her goals. For that, motivation is required. Generally a child gets demoralized. They are unable to achieve best at both the fields. So, motivation from all of us. Instead of discouraging the child, telling her that you are not able to do everything, leave this, leave that, it is better that we help the child to set the goal. We help the child to have a clear direction and measure the progress. So, if you are not measuring your progress, how will you understand that to what extent you have reached, whether the goals that you have set for yourself are they right, or during this process we need to redesign our goals. So, for this, my dear friends, our children need a lot of help and a lot of motivation. So, setting the goals, measuring the goals, all this is very important. So, this chapter talks of certain strategies for effective setting. Again, if I take a question for the children at the end of the chapter, why is this goal important to me? What motivates me to pursue it? My fourth chapter talks of study smart. So, when I say study smart, this chapter is talking about unlocking your academic superpowers. My dear, if I have some children in this audience, so I would like to say, children, you all are amazing. You are rocking. You have a lot of superpower inside you that has not been identified. So don't ever think that I am unable to do this. All of you are wonderful people. What is important is how you measure your success. So, my dear elders, here I would say I'm dividing the group into two parts, the elders as well as the students. Success is a very difficult word which cannot be defined. It is, I would say, very subjective, individualistic. For a person, success may be earning money. For the other person, it would be getting total job satisfaction. For third person, it would be seeing smile on the face of the people around them, and so on. So similarly, we have to help our children define success. Success is not always marks and grades, good grades. Success, I feel, my definition of success is a happy individual, a person who enjoys his or her work. So when I say work, student has a different kind of a work profile, and obviously people in the job have different profile. So if you are enjoying your work with a smile, enjoying the company of your colleagues, and you are happy, I would say that person is successful. So, Study Smart talks of different types of advice or suggestions. Again, I'm taking back my words, no advice and no suggestions. So, only a few pointers that these children can use. Something like this: find your study suites spot, a corner of the house where you are very comfortable studying, set the mood, divide your chapters and lessons into subtopics, get interactive, mix it up. Practice, practice, practice. Buddy up, that is getting a good study partner. Take regular brain breaks. Time yourself. Stay positive and motivated. So, this is now coming to the fifth chapter, navigating peer pressure. That is something which is really, really very important these days. I just shared at the beginning of my talk today that a lot is happening in our children, and there's coming to the peer pressure. Because of that, what happens is they have to do a number of things which they really don't want to. I have children coming and meeting me, parents coming and meeting me, who are actually telling, ma'am, these things happen. Our child is not comfortable. Our child doesn't like that his colleagues, his friends in the class are behaving this way. But the child doesn't know how to handle this. So I would say we have to make our children so strong that they are able to comfortably handle this, go beyond this. And my advice to all dear parents, educators, and students is that in this case, always be a patient listener. Observe, I would say, the behavior of your child. At times, the child cannot come and share what he is experiencing with his friends or other people in the class, classmates. But from the behavior of the child, a parent or a teacher can observe and understand that something is missing. And that is how our role becomes important. And my dear children, always trust a trusted adult. Go and discuss your problem. So it's not necessary that this trusted adult should be a counselor only. It could be a health and wellness teacher only. No, it could be your parent, your elder cousin, friend, or a teacher. So come and talk. And whatever you are feeling from inside, from your voice, share it. So, again, one question that we have mentioned from reflecting inward, a call for self examination, the question answer session that we have at the end of the chapter. Do I surround myself with friends who respect and support my individuality? Or do I feel pressured to conform to their expectations? So I'm just sharing with you and reading the book along with you because when after the chapter you find such questions, so this is just a self reflection. The child, after reading the book, after reading the chapter, not the book, the chapter, sits and thinks that what have I learned from here? Or sits and recalls his or her own experiences to find out that where he stands. So that brings us to the sixth chapter, from ordinary to extraordinary, embracing your growth mindset. Like we began with the first chapter. The first chapter talked of from good to great. But now this chapter talks from ordinary to extraordinary. And as I told you just now, each and every child is amazing. They have got superpowers. The time is to make them exploit those superpowers, come out of their shell. And I am confident that we can bring out really beautiful, beautiful things out of these children. So, that power we have as adults, as educators, as parents, and we need to encourage the children. And here's something very important that I would like to add is that we have to teach our children to embrace failure. Here I read a passage from this chapter. The paragraph says, embracing failure. Failure is not the end of life. Know that it is an opportunity to learn, grow, and improve. Remember, every mistake is a valuable lesson in disguise. I personally appreciate students who, despite failures, don't give up. They work even harder, make new action plans, set goals, and achieve them. Keep a leader's mindset to stand out from the crowd. Now, coming to the seventh chapter, which says, Rise to Lead. Cultivating leadership skills for a bright future. My dear friends, I believe that leadership skill is something that we need to encourage each and every child. This is one skill which makes a person very, very positive and gives them so much of energy. I would say that gives them a drive to move forward. So I just begin with a quote from John C. Maxwell that says, all great leaders have understood that their number one responsibility is cultivating their own discipline and personal growth. Those who cannot lead themselves cannot lead others. So, very rightly said, when I talk of leadership skills, the last line has the catch here. Those who cannot lead themselves cannot lead others. So, why do we need to understand that leadership skill is very important? So, this chapter is a bit little different. This chapter has to begin with a quiz with a few questions, and after that questions, the child is supposed to give points. And then in the end, I have mentioned that if you have certain points, how do you identify your leadership skills? So this slightly changes the tone of the book. From reading mode, you are coming into action mode, where you are writing, you are evaluating yourself. And then definitely the same questions, like I said at the end of the chapter, reflecting inward, a call for self examination. Now, coming to the last chapter, the eighth chapter, the emotion equation. All of us in this world are really, really going through this emotional turmoil. When adults cannot handle it, what about our children? What about our teenagers? So this chapter basically talks about that how building emotional intelligence is important for a fulfilling life. And in fact, if you would have heard through the past half an hour that I was speaking, this is something very important. I have talked of a number of goals, different chapters, different areas, but everything comes and zeroes down to the emotion equation. And for a children to be physically healthy, it's very important that they are mentally and emotionally healthy. And what happens is sometimes if this emotion comfort is not available from the family, children may resort to seeking it from outside, and that may sometimes go in the wrong direction also. So my dear parents, my dear educators, we really have to be careful about this and have to insist on this. Now we come to the last part of the book, and this is the section 2, which talks of building blocks of success. And this chapter, basically, I have jotted down 50 tips for an extraordinary life. As I said in the beginning, very simple tips. In fact, all of you know of these tips, but the only thing is that they all have been put together. Just let me read a few. Always believe in your abilities to achieve your desired goals. Develop the courage to overcome obstacles and setbacks and bounce back from difficult situations. Take pauses and engage in self care in order to prevent burnout. Develop good time management skills to prioritize tasks effectively. I now read another extract from my book when I was talking about success. Who is success? Full, and I talked about that. But now I'm coming to the exact passage, the paragraph that I have written in the book. What is the language of success? Do you think people are born successful or because they have power or money? Success follows. Success is a generic term and it has a different meaning for different individuals. But the question here is, how do you speak the language of success to attract what you want the most in life? Pay attention to the words you use when talking about yourself and your abilities. Replace negative self talk with positive affirmations that reflect a growth mindset. For example, instead of saying, I'm not good at this, say, I haven't mastered it yet, but I'm working on it. So these positive strokes really help and provide a lot of confidence. The best quote from the book, which I have shortlisted and kept here to share with you, is try to build trust and credibility among your peers by demonstrating honesty and integrity. Leading by example is the best way to inspire others to follow in your footsteps. In fact, that is how I am what I am today. My mentors have always guided me, and I believe we all are role models for our dear children. So, whatever we do, our children are copying that, emulating that. The key themes and messages that I would like to add is keep up the good habits, learn to master time and map the path to success, break bigger tasks into smaller, manageable steps, keep yourself motivated and on the track, celebrate your wins, learn from your failures. Because as I told you, failures are very important. We are important in the sense because they are stepping stones to success. From your failures you understand a lot of things. Find a sense of purpose, focus and clarity in one's journey towards success. Studying is not just about grades, it's about growing as a person. Make decisions that align you with goals. Take action in the right direction. Build resilience. Hone your leadership skills. Now, the basic readership that I'm looking at this is adolescents who are in the age group 11 plus years, that is the teenagers, the educators, the learners, the parents. What are the, I would say, the positive points that I kept in mind while writing this book was, as I told you, the size is small, so it makes it attractive. Children, are not scared of reading big fat book. The language is accessible. I've read many sentences from the book, passages also, and you have seen the language is very simple. The tone is encouraging. We are not demotivating the children. Relatable anecdotes are there where I'm sharing experiences of children from my journey, armed with practical tools, tips that children can comfortably do in the class, in the school, and at home. Toolkit of wisdom, inspirational quotes, and each chapter ends with a questionnaire section reflecting inward, which calls for self examination. When I look at the global perspective, I would say the stories, the examples that I have taken are from my school, but they are universal in nature, applicable all over. And the messages that are given, they transcend all barriers. So it is applicable all over the world. And the children, the adolescents, the teenagers, the kind of challenges that they're experiencing are same throughout. What I have taken is the principle of positive psychology. That is something which is very important. And the themes that we have taken, they resonate globally. I've just taken a screenshot of a few reviews about the book. It is available on Amazon, and the reviews are very positive. More than these reviews, the reviews that I'm getting from the readers in the library, they are amazing. So this book is available on Amazon, and I would request that all of you should visit, grab a copy of the book, and definitely post your reviews. I'm very sure they are going to motivate me, and these reviews are going to help me to decide whether my journey as an author is going to continue further or what direction it is going to take. This is the contact information. So now, this was basically about my book that I shared the journey. And I would like to add at this point that contribution of family, of mentors, of educators is very important in bringing out the best in a person. I have myself found a lot of change in my personality, in my confidence in this journey, and with each and every new experience, I get more and more confident day by day. So, do we move to question answer session or yes? Any questions from the audience or Jordan? Has Jordan joined? Okay. So then let me come forward with the kind of questions that I am getting with these days, especially children. Yeah, Jordan, you are there? Okay, by the time Jordan joins. So the kind of problems that I face in the sense children come up and say that a lot of parental expectations are there which we are unable to fulfill, and we come under that pressure. And this is not only parents. I think at some point of time, even at school, even at university, this kind of pressure is put. So, my dear parents, my request to you is understand your child, sit together and have common goals. So, I have a question here, that what makes your book different? Definitely. As I told you, you will find the content similar, content in the sense the thought similar, which all of us with so much of experience of education have. But what makes my book different is making it very simple, very lucid, and very child friendly. When I say child friendly, so it is not a thick fat book. Sometimes people feel, what, 60 pages, 65 pages, what have you written? So it is to make, attract each and every child. Yes, my dear beta, if you sit, you can finish it in a couple of hours. And this is something which you can look again and again. So unlike other books where you are sermonizing, giving them pointers, here you are also giving them an option of self-reflection. So the questions at the end of each chapter say, tell the child that sit and reflect and see what you have learned from this, or sit and see where do you stand today. And I feel that the best way to move forward or to understand is to understand what is your current position. So once your current position is clear, then definitely you are good to go. So that is, I would say, the main part of the book. Okay. How do you feel today after writing this book as an author? Your feelings about the journey. It's amazing. I never thought that, first of all, that my book will come. When I started it, that will I be successful in finally getting it out? And the kind of response that I'm getting, it's really wonderful. I'm getting a lot of encouragement and motivation from my peers. So, my dear friends, when I talked of peer pressure for students, I think this applies to all of us also. So, really amazed, and at this point of time, really motivated. I'm very sure that there will be more coming up. And this is what I wanted to add. When you start something new, like it is for me, it is for children also, when you start something new, if you don't get motivation from people, if you don't get positive strokes from people, then your morale goes down. So everybody around me, the entire, I would say, environment around me has always boosted my morale. So they have always encouraged me that yes, move forward, you will be successful. How do children respond after reading the book? The book is available on Amazon. As I told you, children as well as adults are buying that. But at the same time, my best review is from my children in the school. The readership of this book is amazing. My librarian tells me that children want more and more copies of the book, but definitely there is a restricted number that is available in the library. So there is always a long queue of booking for the book. They want to read it. Both the students as well as the teachers, they have given amazing reviews. And some children even, they have come up to me, discussed their concerns and shared that, ma'am, this is how this book has helped me. So I'm very happy that the results are positive and children are finding it beneficial. Okay. And when I talk of another part of my journey is, a lot of transformation has taken place when I was a student myself, and now that I am an educator today. So Frankly telling you, when I was in school and college, I was not too much into reading and writing. This change has happened when I became an educator. I realized that life, really makes you learn a lot. And you all should learn from your surroundings. Like I told you, my family members inspired me a lot. They were very much happy reading themselves, and seeing them, I started reading. And from reading, I shifted to writing. So, another advice or suggestion for my dear colleagues, we are who are in the similar age profile and work profile, as we are growing, a number of issues, it be family, health, keep on cropping. But let us take positive things out of this. Find out the new time. And all of us, now I'm moving away from my teenagers, my dear friends, and shifting towards the midlife crisis that everybody experiences. So, this is the time, once your children are grown up, they are becoming independent. Explore your own hobbies, identify your talent, something, your innate skills which you were unable to uh, follow, pursue all these years because of your other responsibilities. Go ahead, nobody's going to stop you. That desire has to come from within, from inside. And the moment it starts overpowering you, pushing you, you will really start enjoying. And what I said in the beginning, what is success? Success or a successful person is one who is a happy person. Happy person means who enjoys whatever he or she is doing. So I'm very sure, some of my family members have now switched over to gardening, and some of them even share that talking to plants is the best medicine that they have got. So sometimes parents feel our children have grown up, they are not discussing with anything with us, so we feel so lonely. So this is for those parents. There is a lot available all around you. Don't get glued to gadgets. Move out from the comfort of your room, of your office. Start interacting with people. And the more you are going to interact, you are more comfort you are going to find. This is something really, really helpful for you. And this is for my colleague teachers also, educators, because as you know, teaching is becoming a tough job with each passing day. Our roles and responsibilities have expanded. We have a lot to do, a lot of expectations are there. And because of the changing environment around us, we find children also changing, parents also changing, and their expectations are also changing. So, as educators, our role becomes very important, and it is not an easy one. So, we need to have few virtues. In fact, I think my next book should be some, advice or some checklist like this for dear educators, because at times I find them that they are demotivated. Demotivated in the sense they feel, that we are not getting the kind of gratitude or acknowledgement that we should get after putting in so much of hard work. I fully agree with you. I understand your point of view. But, my dear friends, let's be patient. If we are patient, if we are, I would say, tolerant, you will find things will automatically fall in place. This is also a passing phase. Like tough times come and go, this will also pass. And if you will agree, I'm very sure you will agree with me. What happens is, these children who give you a tough time right now in school, once they pass out, when they come as alumnus of the school, they remember each and every incident. 2 days back, I was in a function where I met a lot of children who are who are in college right now, who were in school once upon a time, and they had so many anecdotes to share. And that is the time you realize that yes, they value you, they understand you. Unfortunately, when they were in school in that particular age, they could not they were appreciating, I think, but they could not acknowledge it or understand it. But now, a few years down the line, they have understood, yes. So, not to get disheartened. I think this session has talked not only of the book, but we have also discussed about students. We have also discussed something for the parents and something for the educators, everybody. And when I talk of parents, because teachers are also parents, they also have children, our roles and responsibilities are also very important. Now, I'm talking as a parent with you. Please understand that we need to have open communication with our children. So, when I say open communication, the environment, the atmosphere in the house, in the family should be such that the child should feel free to come and talk to you. That doesn't happen always. Parents, when they come to my school for different sessions, orientation sessions, or counseling sessions, so they are all very comfortable in saying, yes, ma'am, we all have a free talk session at home. Children come and share with everything, us with everything. But the same children, if you talk them when their parents are not around, they feel, no, ma'am, please explain it to our parents. They don't understand. So somehow I understand that parents have a different perspective, students have a different perspective. They have to be brought together, definitely. And at times, we have to, bring a combination of the two and mediate the two. Yes, Jordan, you wanted to add something? Okay.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask this question. What surprised you most while writing this book?
What do I like the most about this book?
No, what surprised you the most?
Surprise.
Yeah. Did you learn more things yourself, things you know, um, or more about yourself, um, more
As I
understand kids better,
Yeah,
like that?
yeah. So, as I told you, I had lots and lots of conversations with my son, who has just crossed his teenage, while writing this book. So, I felt that I got to know more children more about this. There was a lot of things which, as a teacher, you see from outside, you don't understand. But when you are seeing them from the other perspective, you realize, and I felt that I've started understanding them better. And this is what I tell the teachers and the parents also, that the ones who have grown up children at home understand their students better in school, because they have seen the kind of pressure that they go through. So this is also learning from the book which I have.
I just want to say thank you so much.
Yeah, I would like to thank everybody for attending this session. And I'm very sure all of you after this are going to grab a copy of the book and definitely give your views. I will be waiting for your feedback, because this feedback is going to be a learning lesson for me. And I said this is going to help me in my journey as an author in the future. So thank you so much. And namaskar from India. It was wonderful interacting with everybody.